regards to the educational piece, the assessment piece, and now us at the post-secondary level with Project Focus. What a great way to do it. Key component to Project Focus is all about increasing self-reliance and employability. So I've been doing employability for students with disabilities for years. And I tell you, right now we're so thankful that McDonald's is offering our students jobs just to get them in the door. And we're saying, all right, go for it. You can do this, and it's a good start. But I'm also thinking we need to bring the same passion to re-envisioning what it is as far as careers or jobs that our students have. And that is the piece that I think we're taking back with Project Focus and looking at it. That there used to be, for some of us old-timers, the notion of food, fill, flora, and fauna. I mean, those were like, our mainstays as far as employment for our students. We need to think a little bit differently about that. And that we all have jobs that we get started in. We all have those jobs that we do as college on campus. But that can't be where it stops. We need to look at that career path, which was talked about this morning. And it means a heck of a lot of difference with regards to what we do, how we get students prepared, and what we tell those parents that their son or daughters are capable of doing, and that it is not stopping at that one particular spot. So, to tie that into Project Focus, part of what we're doing is that not only the academic piece, but we're including the internship piece to allow students to look beyond those initial jobs. So we will include the internship rotation, hopefully within the university's campus and in the immediate area, so that they have opportunities to see what other young adults are doing as far as internships, and then what that bigger world looks like as far as careers for them, and where they have a role in that.
We have about 2 more minutes. We want to say 10 per episode.
Dan mentioned self-reliance, and this is a big one. As a college student, knowing where to go to classes, knowing how to navigate, orientation mobility, as well as following up with homework. We work really hard on those type of skills. What Dr. Conley said this morning, the think, know, act, and go, it is integrated in this program. We're doing all those 4 components, and we need to amp up the go part in regard to having them, search online for courses. We're working on that. But this self-reliance is very well integrated throughout the day.
Can I just add, please? I'm just going to add a wrap-up last story. This particular young man, we had known him prior from his high school setting, kind of had a history of walking very slowly and tending to lag behind. And the first day we took him to class, I was working with the peer mentor, and I suggested that we let him just walk a few feet in front of us, tell him, go up to the stop sign, and when you get there, wait for us. And the minute we cut him loose, literally the minute we cut him loose, his body language changed. He went from slow to this to clipping along at a pace that we had to keep up with. And that was the beginning of what has been a series of just really miraculous outcomes that we've already seen just at the end of our first semester. And that he showed us what happens when we cut him loose. And so that's what we're doing. Anything else?
Yes,
I wanted to ask a question regarding the vocational rehabilitation piece. Have you all confirmed that you're going to have no pay for the courses, or are you still negotiating that?
Can you repeat kind of the question?
All right, so the question was, is VR fully on board and are they ready to pay, or is this a kind of a discussion at the discussion level? This week, our students are meeting with their VR counselor to put together their individualized plan for employment. So they've accepted them already into the VR status, they've determined their eligibility, and they're moving on to their plan for employment, and they will pay for next semester's tuition for them.
which is really exciting because we were really trying to raise funds to help families, scholarship fund, and that was just like wonderful news. So we thank you. Oh, you have a question?
One more question. Is the staff that oversees this program all post-secondary ed staff? Or are they some high school staff, some post-secondary ed staff?
Well, we do have, because of time, we would have got into that a little more, but I'll just say we have peer mentors. Part of, we want same age students working with our Project Focus students. They're all students of the U of A. So We do have peer mentors who support our students, as well as 2 certified teachers and another certified part-time teacher to help support the program, as well as our expertise group of educators too.
Let's thank our colleagues from Arizona. And we'll welcome our presenters from Georgia. And if there's time at the end, we can ask questions to both of us. Absolutely, sure.
Hi, my name is Casey Marshaw from Georgia, and I'm in the Special Ed Department, Georgia Department of Education. I'm the liaison for the assessment department. And previously, I was the intellectual disabilities consultant. And I'm going to pass these out. Hopefully, there's enough for everybody to use and kind of pass them out. Okay, sorry. Is that better? All right. I was going to tell you a little bit about some assistance that we have from general ed legislation to help us prepare our students for transition as well. Our legislator implemented in 2010 what's called a bridge law, and that went into effect this year. And what it means is all means all. Every single student in Georgia will have a individual graduation plan by grade A. And it mandates that in middle school, all students have to meet with their counselors. They have to take assessment inventories for work interest inventories. There is a huge website in Georgia called Georgia 411 that our gen ed students use to take assessments for this. The school system has 3 parts to the law. The act mandated that all students in middle and high get counseling and regularly scheduled advisement. The second mandate is that students have to choose a career area and create that individual graduation plan by grade 8. And then the third mandate is that in high school and in middle school, they have regularly scheduled advisement with their counselors. What the individual graduation plan, it helps that student, once they go through their interest inventories and determine what career they may be interested in 8th grade. They map out a plan with the academic studies and whatever electives they may need to take for their chosen career. If there are any career technical, agricultural education courses that they may need to take, we have a program called Career Pathways where how many areas of career? There's 16 career pathways.
Well, actually, no, there are 16 federal career clusters.
Right.
We have 59 individual career pathways.
Within those 16 clusters, we have
within the career
59 pathways where
Yes.
students can look at what they need to achieve those careers. And so the students, of course, can make changes. If they do another interest inventory in high school and decide, like, I've made this idea that this is not for me, they can, of course, make changes. But it really helps those students. We were in a state, and our previous superintendent, the focus was on college readiness. And every student was going to be college ready, and our new superintendent really changed that to college and career readiness, even looking at industry certification to help, to allow a student to graduate. But where that fits in for our students with alternate assessment is that we're having to really look to see how can we develop alternate interest inventories and alternate assessments for our students. And we do that sometimes by choice making and by very informal measures. But of course, the first question that came from our citizens, do we still have to do a transition plan? Well, yes, there's a difference. Or they would say, can't the transition plan just be the graduation plan? Well, no. And how those are different is the graduation plan is where we look at where we see that student going by the time they're out of school. But the transition plan is the value added. What is special about their education? What special ed services do we need to work toward that graduation plan in terms of communication, alternate assessments, alternate instruction? And so we feel like this is a really good tool to help with our transition planning. And then on the other hand, it works both ways. Our transition planning will help with the students developing this. There's one other thing I was going to say, but now it fell out of my brain. Okay. We think it's going to be a valuable thing for our students with special needs. And I just want to give that little plug about our new law. And Carla is going to tell you about one of our programs in Georgia.
Thank you, Casey. First, I have to just express great appreciation for my colleagues in Arizona. What a wonderful program. I am so jealous. That is very, very much. I'm Carla Wade. I am transition coordinator for Cobb County Schools. I think I'm the same thing as you. And within my school district lies Kennesaw State University. Kennesaw State University has begun a post-secondary program for students with developmental disabilities on a shoestring. This program did not get that grant. They did receive a small grant from the DD Council to cover the director of the program. But it is also a 2-year program. It's a certificate program in inclusive learning and social growth. It was started under the Wellstar College of Health and Human Services, which was a big surprise to us. Usually you would think you would go in through the special education and special education right there, but no, that did not happen. That door was not open. But the Wellstar College of Health and Human Services had within it an organization called the Global Center for Social Change. And one of that organization's emphasis points was disability rights. And when that organization was approached, they said yes. And yes was all that they needed to hear. They asked me to come on board as a member of their advisory council. And so that has been my involvement there. And that's been so key to have that piece of, I think, of articulation between the K-12 school system and the post-secondary world. It is a 2-year certificate program. Students do audit classes alongside their non-disabled peers and receive the certificate. There are 3 areas that are promoted within the academy: academics, wellness, and employment. Students, as I mentioned, do audit classes with their typical peers. They take those same freshman year courses that all the other freshmen on the Kennesaw State University campus take. And then after completing a person-centered planning session at the end of their first semester, they begin to select their second year courses, and they're based on their area of passion. They do have student mentors in the program that come and help facilitate the students' participation within those classes. The student mentors are not babysitters. They don't take them by the hand every day. They do help make sure they know where their classes are and get to their classes. And then they help them with those nuances of student life that I think sometimes we adults might miss. One of my favorite stories regarding student mentors is that the first year cohort, in which there were 30 students, went to those KSU 1101 or whatever it was, and they came back and the assignment was a 5-page paper. And they came back and said, oh my gosh, we have to do a 5-page paper. And the director said, it's okay. I'll go to the professor, I'll negotiate, you won't have. And they said, no, we are college students. And it's a 5-page paper that we have to do. We're going to do a 5-page paper. And the director said, well, all right. And they turned to the student mentors and said, what do we do? The student mentor said, no problem. Size 14 font, and he uses triple space and lots of pictures. That's the way.
That's great.
Well, this is a component too. They participate in any rec leisure class that's offered to any of the other students on the university campus, and oh, they love them. They have a huge array of those, but also they take advantage of those offerings that are available through fitness or through mental health or through any of those other organizations on campus. So one of the most popular ones for our students is Dating 101. And what a great place to do that piece of inclusion. That is a common interest for any kid that age. There is an employability piece as well. Students that participate in this academy begin by doing 2-week job shadow rotations, and then the next semester a week of job readiness training. And then after their person-centered plan, they hopefully will secure a student job on campus. They go through the same organization that any of the other students that want a job on campus go through, and hopefully they hope to have one in their area of interest. There's a lot of research out there that supports this model, and especially, as we've said again and again and again, it's about jobs. It's about being employed. It's about the fact that people that have post-secondary education have a better opportunity at a better job. This is the mission of the Academy, important and true for any organization like this. And this PowerPoint is shared with the parents before they come, and that's one of the parts that I get to do, is I get to go and talk to parents in my very large school district and say, you know, this is how they're going to have to be. This is what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to get around by themselves. They're going to have to use the university email system to communicate with their professors. They're going to have to figure out how to get around campus, not the first day, but pretty quickly. They're going to have to be able to manage schedules, materials, and relationships. They're going to have to be able to do all those things. And this is one of my favorite pictures in the world. This is the second year of the program. The first year, 3 students were admitted into the program, and one of them dropped out to get married, because that's what college-age people do. And this is the group. The second year, 6 more students were included. The next year, 4 more students, and they hope to take in 6 more the next year. 2 of these students, so this is the 3rd year that it's been going on, 2 of these students have been through the graduation. The young lady, the tall young lady in the blue shirt, and the young man here on the end are the graduates from this program. We have, I'm proud to tell you, a 100% employment rate, because they both have jobs. I will tell you how they both got jobs. Nick was talking about the mini grant that Georgia received. Written into that mini grant was that both of those students would be speakers for the organization that received the mini grant to go around the state and talk about promoting programs, similar programs at our other state universities.
Wow.
Information about applying to the Academy. I love hearing y'all's description of the application process. The application process at Kennesaw State University is much, much more informal. It's basically, did you want to come? Okay, well, there is an application online, and there is an interview. But we'll be talking about it also. And these are the Academy objectives that very strongly correlate with the objectives of the university itself, and the diversity that is being promoted there. Tuition and fees. Students that come to the Academy pay tuition of that all students pay at Kennesaw State University, plus the extra Academy matriculation fee to pay for the student mentors. So that's that extra piece. And that's information. I think these prices are current, but I may be lying. Not positive. And this slide was put in to let the parents know that yeah, they have to buy books. And yeah, you know what? College books are expensive. They are. And this is how much they might cost. This is a slide that I'm sure that y'all are familiar with. There's our one little hat in Georgia. I hope the next time we get together, we have, gosh, as many as Maryland. Oh, wow. Or New York or anything, so that we can build these programs, because they are much, much needed. Application information, and this is online as well. Students that come to the academy can hold a special education diploma. They have participated in the alternate assessments in their school systems, or perhaps they did. Perhaps they pursued a general ed diploma and did not achieve all of the requirements for that. They need to have been finished, though. They need to be finished with high school. So this is not a dual enrollment program. The program does receive support from all of these stakeholders. Really, really important to receive this kind of support. A couple of other things that I brought along for y'all. I brought a limited number, and Debbie Prairie has these for you, a limited number of brochures with information about the program. The other piece that I brought that may be helpful for y'all, this is the assessment system that was developed for the academy. We thought it was important to have a series of benchmarks. How do we know that these students are making any progress? What do they need to make progress on? So I brought for you a limited number again of handouts about the assessment system and the benchmarks the students are looked at in terms of progress. I would ask that you try to take one for each state or organization, just so that they'll go around. And then the last thing in your packet, maybe I don't know if you have enough of those. How do they get there? One of the ways that they get there is the last brochure that I brought. The Cobb County School District has implemented a transition academy program. This is for the students who are 18 to 22 who are still enrolled in public school, who are on an alternate assessment, who are finished with that academic piece, they're finished with those 23 credit units and the